Hello Flickering Myth family and welcome to our channel. My name is EJ and as part of our Sundance 2023 coverage, we are going to be jumping into a biopic, a film that I was not expecting to love as much as I did. Hell, what am I saying? I could have reviewed this movie in my sleep. We are going to be talking about Cassandro. As a lifelong wrestling fan, I have liked wrestling before I knew my ABCs and my 1-2-3s. This is a big part of my life, but I've also been a member of the LGBT community for as long as I could remember, so those two things never felt like they mixed together. Now, in the year of our Lord 2023, it's progress. We've made stuff. We have major people and major companies with titles like AEW has, like Anthony Bowens. We've had Nyla Rose. We've had people in WWE do successful as well. But we still haven't got there 100%. But we are not in the time period that Cassandro came from. This is a man, an exotico, which is a more flamboyant, effeminate wrestler in Mexico who defined an era of wrestling, who made queer wrestling something important, something at the forefront, really changed a lot of Mexican culture. And what I love is the movie about Cassandro is just as good as the real life story. I have previously said in other things, like I saw the Little Richard documentary from Sundance, and I said, if you guys are thinking about making a biopic, don't do it. I want to see more documentaries, but we've seen the Cassandro documentaries. We've seen the story. I just saw him at Effie's Big Gay Brunch not too long ago. We want to see this man get the moment he can, and I cannot believe this film is as good as it is, and we have Gael, García, Bernal at the front and center, bringing this larger-than-life figure to life in a way only a talented actor and a pretty strong director could. Director Ross Williams makes his feature debut in Cassandro, a story about a man named Saul who is in the world of wrestling, but he's kind of this jobber, which is someone who's just jobbed, their sole purpose is to lose. He's tired of that spot. So when he works with a female friend who also happens to be a wrestler, she gives him the inspiration to be an exotico, a very flamboyant, over-the-top character, and he decides to go that route. But it's also a hard life for him. He's in love with someone who is taken by somebody else in a very dark, closeted situation. He's also having to deal with the homophobia from the Mexican fan bases. He's also dealing with drugs. I mean, this is a film, a story about a man, and this is not holding anything back. They really put it all in there, and I loved seeing Cassandro and the man behind Cassandro, Saul, get the actual time to tell his story a proper way. No, let me hide things, let me make things look more PC for the chances that I look great. No, Saul said, baby, this is how I was. I did this, and this, and my life wasn't easy, but look where I am now. I like stories like this. I see so many biopics where I'm like, wow, you really cut out the juicy details or the things that really color our characters in, our humans in. And I love that this movie hid nothing. Ross Williams is a first-time director in this kind of sense. He's done documentaries, and I thought this was going to affect my overall experience. I thought this was going to feel like a documentary or feel too low stakes. But this was a pretty strong movie. Do I see this as an awards contender later on? Not the movie itself, though I would still love to see it, an international feature. Mexico, you might have one in the bag right here. But what I loved right now is that this was Gael's time. Like, Gael García Bernal is an actor I have seen for so many years. He's in so many great movies. I mean, Bad Education, he's great in that. But yeah, I was happy to see him give life to this character, give more personality than this guy who has the man, Cassandro, is a crazy over-the-life spirit, but he captured it, and he gave him more layers and more human qualities than I could ever have hoped for. I was really impressed with this. The film itself, the story, and our crazy great performance at the center. The state of wrestling movies is strange. We've had that one show Stephen Amell tried. We've had the iconic film The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke, which went on to be Oscar nominated, and it was a big deal when it came out. And we have one coming up about the Von Erichs, which is a very infamous wrestling story about a very sad family, but they always have the tragedy. They're always so dark. It's never fun. this movie isn't always fun, but there's a sense of hope. There's a sense of levity that we know where Cassandro's story went, that he got to have that iconic status in the Mexican wrestling community. Hell, in the world of wrestling, we would not have people like Sonny Kiss. We would not have people like Effie if it wasn't for someone like Cassandro. So I love that this has a very positive, uplifting message. Wrestling is a great thing. I love being a wrestling fan, but it's also not easy to like, hey, watch this documentary, and it's like the dark side of the ring. It's like, and this wrestler was murdered and they never found out. It's just like, oh my god, the stories get so dark. I like that Cassandro's story is positive. It's uplifting. It makes me proud to be a wrestling fan. This movie reminded me why I love wrestling, why it's so good. It's an overall great experience. I love seeing someone like Bad Bunny, who's made his impression in the real life wrestling world, kind of have a little moment in this movie. Not a too big of a thing. Bad Bunny's not like the major focus, but I really liked seeing that wrestling was treated with respect. People from the wrestling world who are even maybe new to it understood what Cassandro offered and had to push their stuff into this movie. It's really good. I don't know. I'm very impressed with this one. Cassandro is one of my favorites from the whole festival. Alright everyone, that is it for my review of Cassandro. I have so many positive things to say about it. As a wrestling fan, as a queer person, as someone who just loves positive stories, this was exactly what I wanted from my Sundance. This, to me, one of the strongest ones. Like, I loved Magazine Dreams, and I liked kind of Sometimes I Think About Dying, but none of them have had the oomph, the impactful quality that this one has had. What did you guys think of this movie? What did you think of this review? Share your feelings down in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to Flickering Myth and give us a thumbs up if you did enjoy. Alright everyone, let's talk about Cassandro right down here.